Hello world and welcome to another episode of FooBar. We love orchestrating our serverless applications and we love step functions. I think since the service came out in late 2019, we have been using it a lot for solving all kind of interesting problems in our serverless applications. Orchestration is one of those patterns that really help us to make our Lambda functions very simple and also to integrate with other services without really needing to add a lot of complexity in the code. However, 2 years ago, they announced Express Step Functions, and that was really amazing. There was Step Functions really aligned for serverless applications, for orchestrating your Lambda function and your code that just basically will help you out so much. But there was still a problem. A lot of our applications and serverless applications, we want to use them from API Gateway. When we integrate API Gateway with Lambda, we end up with a synchronous connection, meaning we can do an HTTP request, pass it through API Gateway, send it to Lambda, do whatever magic we need to do, and then return an HTTP response on the API Gateway for the client. When we integrate step functions into this mix, now we can do the API Gateway call to step function, but that will return us some weird thing that says that our state machine has started. And we need to do some workaround, even though we knew the state machine will be very fast to process. Or then, in some cases, we just avoid the state machine whatsoever and we build everything in the Lambda function. And well, that's what it is. Because there was no support for state machines that were returning in a synchronous way. But that changed in the last reinvent, and I think this was one of the best announcements in my opinion, because I love step functions and I was so excited that they announced the synchronous workflows. So now in your Express step functions, you can have synchronous response. This can trigger from a Lambda function, an API Gateway, or some basically invoking the state machine manually. So now you can build this communication between API Gateway and the state machine directly and get the response. This is so powerful. If you're watching this and you're like, what are step functions? What is this lady talking about? Don't worry, I have a video, I have you covered. There is a video in the description box talking about the introduction to step functions and why they are so amazing. And then in this video, I will show you an example and we will start from a build application that will be built all as infrastructure as code. So this video, as always, will be building everything as infrastructure as code. And we will start from an application that is using AWS SAM and step functions. So if you want to get started with the integration that AWS SAM provides with step functions, I also leave you a video that you can watch to get to the point where I will be starting this video. If you like this content and you are so excited about step functions having synchronous modes now, give it a like. Comment me how much you love step functions and also share it with your friends because this is powerful and this will empower you to build better serverless applications. So now let's go to the code and see how we can get this done. So we'll start, as I said, from an existing application. So this application I deployed and I will leave you the code in the description box as always. It has one state machine and everything is defined in AWS SAM using infrastructure as code. It has 3 lambdas and this state machine is triggered by an API Gateway. There's also some Dynamo table that doesn't come to play here because we will do most of our work in the template YAML. So we are going to basically work with the API of this step machine. So you can see there the state machine, the JSON that is describing the state machine, so I can render it. There is a plugin from AWS that allows you to render the state machines. I leave you the name for the plugin also in the description box. That allows you to draw the state machine so you can see what is going on. Basically in this state machine, we will be taking an order. Imagine you are a company that is delivering food. People will make orders and there's many steps in here. We will be first doing a payment, calling a third-party API. Then if the payment is successful, and for that we are using step functions to take the decision. If the payment is successful, then we will send the order to a restaurant to kind of proceed and cook that food. And then if the order is successful, then we will send a message to the person that is watching that everything is good for the client, and if not, we will send a message that everything failed, and everything will be shown in the synchronous mode. That's what we want. For now, it's all asynchronous as we have until today. So I already deployed this and I have the URL there. I can paste it in my Postman. I'm not using Postman. I'm testing one extension from Visual Studio Code called Thunder Client that should replace Postman. I'm still not sure, but I like that everything is in the same kind of environment, so I don't need to jump between videos. So I will make a new request there. Still, the visual is not that my favorite, but maybe I can configure it. And then I will just make sure that everything is good for the request. And that's a post, so we need to change the HTTP method to post and make sure that we are calling the right URL. And then we have some parameters that we need to pass in the body because the post requires body. And there we are just basically telling which customer, what they are ordering, and how much they're paying. It's very simple. It could be more complicated. This is not about that. And you can see that the response from the state machine, this is API Gateway connected directly to Step Functions. You can see that it says execution ARN, and it's returning you as an ARN, exposing that Amazon resource name to the client, and it says when it started. So now basically what we could do in the client is make sure and go and check the state machine using the execution ARN if the state machine finished. In our case, yes, because this is super fast. So we could have a synchronous response with no problem because everything will not make API Gateway time out. So let's refactor this template YAML in order to support this synchronous response. So we are going to do everything again as infrastructure as code, and we are going to go to the template YAML to do those changes. So we are going to basically remove the event definition from the state machine. We are going to create an orders API, and we are going to use open API definition to define the kind of synchronous way of executing. And this is quite hard and horrible, I have to say. I'm hoping to see a better integration from SAMP into the synchronous workflows in the future, but this feature is quite new. So you can basically copy paste it and change a couple of things and it will work for you. So this will just grab the open API definition that we are going to add in the new HTTP API. And then we are going to create a role that will allow this API to start the synchronous execution on the state machine. So I imagine in the future when SAMP becomes better on understanding these things, a lot of these roles and policies and things like that we might not need because they can be done in the back for us. But for now we need to type them. So the code is available in GitHub, so you can go and copy paste a lot of these things. So I will go to the state machine and I will basically remove the events trigger from there. We don't need it anymore in the state machine, but we will add a similar behavior from the API gateway that we are going to define. So let's remove that. And then we can create a new resource, and this is called the orders API, and we are just giving some properties. This is a type of HTTP API, so we are using API Gateway version 2. That was announced some time ago. And then we can start putting some properties. Again, here we are using the open API definition, so that's why it's so verbose and that's why we need to add so many things. I hope this changed later. So if you see there, I add some information for the open API, and then the interesting part is that path, where we will say what is the path, and then for each of the path, we are going into the HTTP method, in our case, post. And then there we will see the different mappings for the responses, and basically it will also talk about the integration. So there we can see how the integration is happening. If we go to the request parameters, we will see that we will map the body and we will pass it to the state machine ARN, and that we define there as well. And it will be an AWS proxy. So you can also see the integration subtype that says Step Functions start sync execution, and then we are passing a role that we are going to create later, that is the HTTP API role that we are going to create in a moment. So that's kind of basically all the different things that are important here. So you can basically replace these things with what is yours, and it should work pretty good. Then we put the OpenAPI version, and then we will do some cores because cores are fun. We need to add that as well because API and state machines are not really talking in a nice way. They're talking through the OpenAPI definition. And yeah, so that's everything we need. But the important thing is in the path. The rest you can just copy paste it. Write the type correctly. I did it wrong. I forgot 2 dots. And then that will fail. So I'm fixing that. And then we can go and add the role. So I'll create a new HTTP API role, and there I will put some properties. And this role will basically allow the API gateway that we just created to start the invocation on the state machine. So that will be what is going to happen here. You just put some properties, and basically it will allow this API gateway to assume the role and be able to invoke the step functions. And you can see the policy that's new, the state start sync execution. That's the policy that we need to get in the resource of the state machine that we just defined. So basically that's kind of it. And with all of this, we can go now and deploy our serverless application and see what happens. One thing is modifying the outputs, and for that we will change that serverless REST API that will just give us the implicit API created from the function or state machine to the orders API. And then I made a mistake there. You will see it how I fix it later because I forgot to remove that prod because this is HTTP version 2, API gateway version 2, and they don't have the stages anymore. But well, for now I will just proceed because this is a mistake I'm fixing in the video. But I'm just telling you, if you are copy pasting while I'm doing, it will fail. But yeah, so now we are ready to deploy it, and then I will fast forward until this is done, and we will see in the other side. So when this is ready, we will see again the output, and we will see the URL with the right endpoint. Well, right, because there's an error, I told you already. So I will basically copy paste that into the Thunder client that I'm using instead of Postman. You can do this in Postman, in Cord, whatever you like. And then I will go and modify the request that I was doing before, so I don't need to type the body again. Let's close everything, copy paste, and basically we can see that the URL is a little bit different, and we can fix it. If there is something to fix, I didn't realize yet, but I will send, and I will say and not found. This is my error because I'm adding the stage. So basically I need to run this without the stage. In the code that you will get in GitHub, you will get it right. But yeah, that's me figuring out what is going on. And then I realized like, oh, there's no stages. Sometimes I like to leave some errors for you. Because I made a lot. So now we fix and we do the send again, and you can see that the response comes with something back. So yeah, so I will fix that output for you so I can put it in the code, and let's go and explore the response that we get back from the state machine. And you can see that we get some the execution ARN as well, and we get the billing details, how much we are charging, what is the input. Then we can get some output information as well. So we can get a lot of information here that then our client can process. So this is pretty handy. Now everything is here for the client to display in the application, for example, if you have an app. So we can just change whatever we are passing in the body. We can say that we want a burger, and Yolanda wants a burger, and it's cheaper, and then we send, and we will see that the output is different and whatever we are passing is different. So this is extremely handy. So that was everything I wanted to show you today. I hope you find this video super useful. This was something I wanted for so long, so I'm super excited to see it happening, the synchronous mode for step functions. This should allow you to do so many things now with API Gateway, Lambda, and have Lambdas that are simple and they're not fat and they're like amazing. So yes, I love this feature. I hope you do too. And if you like this video and the feature, subscribe and share it and comment on all those things that YouTube likes. I see you in the next episode of FooBar.